Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to Reality Files. Today, we're talking about some deep connections. The law of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. As without, so within. You've most likely heard this law recited and touted around quite a bit. But we're going to really break this down with some deep connections between the Emerald Tablets, the Lost Gospel of Thomas, and energy work and the subtle energetic field. This is going to be a treat. So, in the Lost Gospel of Thomas, there's major emphasis on this point of making the outside like the inside and seeing all as one. I'm going to read some from the Lost Gospel of Thomas. Don't you understand that the one who made the outside is also the one who made the inside? This is a pretty good one. You examine the faces of heaven and earth, but have not come to know the one who is in your presence, and you do not know how to examine the present moment. This is Jeshua talking about how everyone is looking outside of themselves, is looking into the external, examining the earth and the heaven, looking for God in everything else but themselves. It said in the Lost Gospel of Thomas, not reading off here, but if heaven was in the skies, then the birds would precede you. If heaven and the kingdom lay in the ocean, then the fish would precede you. No. The kingdom and heaven can only lie within and in the present moment. Because we, as the children of God, precede all else. If you bring forth what is within you, this is powerful. If you bring forth what is within you, what you have will save you. If you do not have that within you, what you do not have will kill you. So once again, talking about bringing the power from within, examining the present moment, and understanding that the outside was created as the inside. And then let's look at these two passages from the Lost Gospel of Thomas, 106 and 48. There's a couple of other that were like this, but when you make the two into one, you will become the children of Adam. And when you say mountain move, it will move. Then 48. When the two make peace within a house, they will say to the mountain, move, and the mountain will move. You see, the Bible and this Lost Gospel of Thomas, it is all symbolic and written in metaphor. It is not literally saying when two people make peace within a household that they'll access and harness all the power of the universe. No. What it's saying is when you make peace between the two sides of yourself, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the ego and the higher self, the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, When you make peace and harmonize all aspects of who you are, the shadow self and your authentic self, when you make peace, you will harness all the power of the universe, the power of the earth and the heavens in one. So the lost Gospel of Thomas put heavy emphasis on making the two into one, seeing the outside as it was created from the inside, and balancing the two forces. Huge emphasis on all these points in the Lost Gospel of Thomas. Now, moving on to the Emerald Tablets. I just made a video illustrating the Emerald Tablets. Go check that out. Let's see what the entire main portion of the Emerald Tablets is talking about. A major theme throughout a lot of scripture and esoteric literature. To accomplish the miracles of the one thing, just as all things come from this one thing, through the meditation of one mind, talking about the one infinite essence that makes up all of the universe, the one mind, the universal consciousness. Okay? This is where all things come from. You see, we live on a plane of earth, and earth is at a higher density than the air, because as the Bible would tell you, or many other sources, we live within a firmament of water, meaning a certain density of water. And as you rise up the firmaments, the planes, okay, getting into my favorite passage and few sentences from the Emerald Tablets. I think this is probably the most powerful stuff you could possibly get your hands on. So let's dive into it. Separate the earth from heaven, the subtle from the gross, and gently, with great ingenuity, it rises from earth to heaven and descends again to earth, thereby combining within it the power of both the above and below. This right here is literally talking about energy work, but going beyond just moving the energy, it is the symbol of what this represents. Okay? The Lost Gospel of Thomas talks about this too, combining the two into one, the above and below, the outside and the inside, and harnessing it with one mind, with one focus, with one drive. If you go watch any of my energy work videos or most of my content, I talk about bringing the below up to the above, and then flowing the above into the below, and then breathing in and amplifying the stream. Okay, this is how you activate your entire light body and subtle energetic field. Right now, I'm currently in the process of recording a audio series on my 10 best meditation techniques for developing extrasensory perception and doing energy work. Look for that very soon. I talk about things like this in there. But separate the earth from the heaven. Therefore, feel and expand your perception into the energy and feeling of the earth, the grounding force, the lower chakras, the lower density vibrations from the higher density vibrations. Separate the subtle from the gross. This means build your familiarity and knowledge of the subtle energies of each chakra. Going beyond just the 7 colors of the light spectrum, I mean into each hue. When you can feel and have a knowing of each area of your body and the energy that is flowing through there, when you have a knowledge of the full scale of subtle energies, from the earth up to the air, from the root chakra up to the crown chakra. When you have separated the subtle, being each individual energy, from the gross, and have built your familiarity, therefore you can harness the entire spectrum of energy while doing energy work. This is why it says to separate the earth from the heaven and the subtle from the gross. What it's saying is you have to learn each aspect of it in order to harness it all together in one flow, in one stream. And then it goes on to say, so we can draw connections here when it talks about it rises from earth to heaven and descends again to earth. This is talking about kundalini. This is talking about your entire light body and energetic activation. In order to do what this is describing, you raise the energy up from the ground. You feel the earth and all these subtle varieties of energy that exist in the lower chakras. And then you flow all the energy into your heart center. And then upon exhale, you release and let flow the earth energy, the below, through your entire body, every cell of your being, and let it flow into the above, connecting with the cosmos. And then you bring your awareness and imagination up to the heavens, and you feel the cosmic energy, the higher frequencies and colors of the upper chakras, and you breathe the cosmos down into your heart center, expanding it with the cosmic energy. And upon exhale, allow it to flow through every cell of your body back down to the below. This is establishing a two-way connection. Like the Emerald Tablets say, the power of both the above and below, harnessed in that one six-sided triangle. That is the representation of the two-way flow, the full light body activation, the Merkaba. This is such a sacred symbol. It's also the symbol of the heart chakra, the heart center. And this is because the heart center is the meeting point, the center point, where the above and below meet and cross through on their ways to establish a two-way flow. The heart center is so important. What is right at the center of this star, because that is the amplifier. That is your force to flow energy. Your heart center, that is what controls. It's like the pump for it's like the heart. Bear with me for a moment. The heart center of your energetic field is just like the heart of your body. The heart of your body is pulling in blood and liquid through all the veins and capillaries of your entire body. It's pulling all that in and then pushing out and compressing the energy or the liquid and blood back out to the rest of your body. Your heart center is the same exact thing, because as above, so below. The heart center is connected to the entire energy of the above and the below and your larger aura. Your heart center is the fuel, the pump for it all. So I hope you can get an idea of what I'm talking about here. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm working on a full audio series of my best meditations for developing extrasensory perception, doing energy work, and fully activating your light body. These things are very difficult, and like the Emerald Tablets say, you must do it gently, with great ingenuity, because you have to become aware and develop your skills and ability to perceive something which you've never perceived before, and then gain mastery over the subtle aspects of it. So at the end of the ride, the end of the day, you can flow all at once in every direction, thereby gaining the power of the whole universe, as the Emerald Tablets say. When you combine the power of the above and below, you will obtain the power of the whole universe. All obscurity will be clear to you. This is the greatest force of all powers, because it overcomes all subtle things and penetrates every solid thing. In this way, the universe was created. What this is saying right here, guys, is when you have built a familiarity with each component and aspect, each color of the energy, you have separated the subtle from the gross instead of... So by accomplishing this, by separating the subtle from the gross, the earth from the heaven, and then with great ingenuity establishing a two-way flow, yes, all obscurity will be clear to you, because you understand the essence, the base function, the force behind all things. You understand what makes it up, what makes it tick, what gives it life. This power overcomes all subtle things and penetrates every solid thing. All subtle things being like the goo, or the wind, or the water. Something you can't quite grasp, yet is flowing just as energy is flowing, just at a different density, but as above, so below. When you know the upper realms, the realm in which we exist becomes remarkably clear to you. And when you take what you see, feel, and observe in this physical density and apply that to the upper realms of the imagination, mind, spirit, and overmind, then you have connected the earth to the heavens, the below to the above. And by doing so, you know what exists between all. You have a clear picture of the one thing, the one mind that the Emerald Tablets first mentioned at the beginning of this passage. The last interesting point I want to mention about the emerald tablets before we move on is the last thing that the thrice greatest Hermes wrote. Herein I have completely explained the operation of the sun. This is completely correct. Because you see, the sun that exists above our head also exists within you. And in fact, you have 7 suns within you. Just like the 7 celestial planetary bodies that are luminous and just like the sun. You see, the sun is so important, and the operation of the sun represents all things, because as above, so below. You see, the sun is in this physical realm, and we see it operating, forever shining and burning and giving off bright light. But at the same time, something has to feed that. So at the same time that it exuberates light and energy from all aspects of it, coming from the very core, the center within, at the same time it is drawing in an equal amount of energy because of the law of equal exchange, and the sun is flowing energy into it and giving energy off as light at an equal rate. As a function of this, it is therefore harnessing energy from the above and below, from all around it. Every aspect of energy, it is harnessing this and flowing it into the very core, where it transmutes that energy and gives it off as the pure vibrational form of light. This is the operation of the sun, and this is what Hermes was getting at, is when you can create a solar, a sun within you, in your heart space, that is drawing in energy from the above and below and giving off the same amount, the equal amount of energy in all directions, abiding by the laws of correspondence and equal exchange. When you can create the sun within you and let it operate as its own system without any judgments, blockages, or attachments, and getting into the complete state of flow, you have therefore harnessed the powers of the above and below into one, the one mind, the origin of all, and have gained mastery over the universe. I could go into the 3 planes, body, mind, spirit, and the 4th plane, the essence that lies behind all of it, which is the subtle fields. I think I'm going to save that for a later video. And I'm going to finish up this presentation on the law of correspondence, the emerald tablets, and the lost gospel of Thomas with a diagram. I drew this here to show you what all of this is talking about. When the emerald tablets say, separate the earth from the heavens, it means feel what is beneath you, and then feel what is above you. And then the emerald tablets and a lot of esoteric literature and kundalini yoga or kundalini practices talk about raising the below up through and to your heart center, and then through that into the above, and then bringing the above all the way through your whole body into the below, thereby connecting and establishing a complete full flow. Just as you see right to the right of my my little guy, you see the 1, 2, and the 3. 1 meaning bring energy up, connect it up to 2. 2 being bring energy down, connect it into back into 1, Bring it all back into 3. And then start breathing as the sun. Breathing in and shining and exuberating energy in this constant flow, because the sun never wavers. The sun doesn't need to take breaths in and out to give off light. No, it is constantly burning. This consistent light, because it is flowing in all directions simultaneously. This is the last graphic or diagram we're going to look at. This describes everything we just talked about with the best pictures I could find. As above, so below. Rise the kundalini and energy up through all your chakras, separating the subtle from the gross, building your familiarity with each hue, each color, each aspect, vibration, light, and frequency of energy, discovering all of its intricacies, how they work together, where blockages are stored. This part of the process is ultimately building a knowing and familiarity of all energy, but even more so building an awareness and understanding of the self, how the self operates. Because throughout this entire process, you're going to be seeing and realizing how as above, so below is applied to all aspects of the mind, body, spirit, and energy. The third image, the guy has created the soul, the sun at the center, and is now expanding that flow and light, harnessing more of the energy from the heavens and the earth, establishing a complete Merkaba, a flow from the below and a flow from the above, in and through your entire aura, therefore ascending, harnessing the power of the universe, and blasting off. Thank you for watching. That was some thoughts I had on the Emerald Tablets, the Lost Gospel of Thomas, and things I've been realizing in energy work and energy healing. I really hope you enjoyed that. I encourage you to go read the Lost Gospel of Thomas and the Emerald Tablets, very profound esoteric literature. And if you have the level of consciousness and understanding to receive these symbols and metaphors with the many meanings they have connected to it, when you can read in and see the many aspects being communicated in their entirety, you will share the profound realizations and experiences that I once did and am now further diving into, exploring, and collecting knowledge from. Please share this with someone who's awakened, someone who needs to see this. Please give it a like, leave a comment. I read all the comments. I really appreciate all the comments and support you guys been leaving me lately. Keep that up. I'll keep making great content for you guys, and I'll see you next time.